Howdy, YouTube. Today, we're going to cover a topic which I'm sure anyone that views and hears this can relate to. At least I hope so. Because if you are one of those that will be unable to comprehend and relate what I'm going to discuss, you need to check yourself, or maybe check yourself in. You know what I'm saying? Now, remember the days, actually, you baby boomers. So I'm a baby boomer. What's up? The generation after baby boomer and all of those before, where technology is concerned. Okay? For those that were born in the 60s, 50s, parts of the 70s, and before, long before. Remember the skies? Do you remember the beautiful, crystal clear blue skies we used to have? Yeah, I do. Do you remember going outside and looking up and seeing the golden yellow sun in the sky? Remember that? I do. But what do we have now? Sadly, we have this. Chemtrails. It has turned those pretty blue skies to chaos. The sky looks like it's foggy all the time. That pretty blue is like, but a memory. And now when you go out and look at the sun, it's a bright, shimmery white color. When did that happen? Why did that happen? Gone of the days of the pretty blue and the golden yellow ball in the sky. Thanks to that garbage. But back in those days, and people still do it today, granted, you can just go outside and look up. You just take time to look at nature, listen to nature, tune into nature. I do it every day. When I step foot outside these walls, I look up. Look around. And that's partially because I was a meteorologist in the Navy. So it's a habit. I'm a cloud watcher. But that's not the reason I do it. I'm looking at trees, watching birds, watching insects, watching squirrels, soaking it all in. I can't wait for the cicadas. I love that sound. Which is another one that's off. We get cicadas every year now. You know that's not right. We're only supposed to get cicadas, what, every 7 years? 11, 14, I think there's a cycle. But you get cicadas every year now. It's not right. But anyway, cicadas. When you hear that sound during the summer, crickets in the fall, nature, looking up, looking around. What happened to society that as a whole, we are so out of touch with the environment? Excuse me, let me put this out. Hard to do that and this at the same time. But what happened? I know what happened, or one of the reasons. Right there. People now, as soon as they go outside their four walls, the first thing they do is this. People will walk around the mall, walk sidewalks, streets, any subways, airports, any and everywhere, like this. No wonder you don't have any time to look up. You think the world's in here? If you do, you're a fool. Straight up. Yes, technology has its uses in our information age, research, information sharing. You want to reach out to a relative over in China, Japan, wherever. Very handy. Gone are the days of mailbox. Those days are gone. So yes, it has its uses. But people have become too sucked in to technology. You've let technology rule your life. You should be the master of that technology, not the other way around. Let me tell you when it all began, from my perspective. The 1920s, 1910, 1920-ish, I think. Okay, for sake of conversation, 1920s. Radio. Picture it. Amos and Andy is coming on. Or, well, actually, Howdy Doody was about the time television started. So Amos and Andy. We'll use Amos and Andy. Program is coming on the radio. The entire family gathers, sits in front of a giant box like this. Oh, wait a minute. I gotta get a zombified thing going on here. Really? You mean back in those days they used to stare at radios to hear a program? You mean you couldn't walk around your home or your apartment, wherever you were, continue doing what you were doing and just hear the program, you had to physically park in front of that box and stare at it. Is that the only way you were going to receive the radio program? That's when it began, people. That's when the zombification started. And from there, I think the 1930s, no, was it 50s? You forgive me if my timelines are off with advents of certain things. But I think around the 1930s, between, I don't know, somewhere in the 1930s, 1950s, when television hit the market. The little small black and white televisions. That's when it's howdy doody time. I'm not that old now. Don't go there. All right? But I do remember that stuff. And people would park in front of that little tiny screen, stuck like this. See, technology has been a problem in that regard. Then the advances just keep coming. They just keep rolling in. Now we have PCs. And you can have a PC screen as big as your wall if you want it with the technology. You remember the days when these things were, my God, they were... Laugh with me now, because some of y'all remember. I'm trying to find something close by. It's a little larger than what I want to use. But you remember cell phones were like a damn suitcase? And it was so cool to have one. Now look at them. They were even smaller than this. I mean, they were little tiny things, remember? Now they're starting to get bigger again with the advent of tablets and all that stuff. They're getting bigger again. Really? But it's still a problem because people are always on these damn things. Constantly. How do people even manage? I just don't get it. I see people walking around Walmart or different places like this. I mean, you got cars, you got other people, traffic, what have you. And it's like, I mean, do we have eyes up here or something I'm not aware of that only open up when you're on a cell phone or spider senses or something? Because even if I happen to be out and I have to use the phone for something, I usually stop and then do what I'm doing because I'm looking around. I'm always checking my surroundings. Always. So I'm not going to be walking around like this and oblivious to what's going on around me. If I got to use this, I'm stopping, I'm looking, I'm going to use it, and I'm looking at the same time. Everywhere. I watch everybody. So what's wrong with most of you, to whom that applies, that are just, you got a problem. Don't sit there on the other end of this video and try to justify it. By, well, I need this for whatever it is I need it for. Don't justify it. It's denial. I challenge you. Put the damn thing down. Go outside. And when you go outside, look up. Instead of down at your damn feet. Look up. But first check your surroundings. Always check your surroundings. Then look up. Look at the trees. Watch the birds. Now, it might be kind of hard to do in places like New York, Chicago, with parts of New York City, Chicago, you know, the bigger cities where you don't have any trees. I can understand. It might be a little more difficult there. But you do have parks. Go to the park. Sit. Observe the environment. Tune in to the environment. Try it. And if this rings, unless you're a fireman, policeman, you know, healthcare professional, you know, first responder type person where you have to have something so you can be notified, we need you now. If you're just a baker at a bakery, put the damn thing down when you go to the park. Ain't no recipe that freaking important. No. If you're a secretary, ain't not that important. If you're a lawyer, well, you're inhuman anyway. In a corrupt system. Oh, but that's another video. I'm not going to go there. Some of you serve a purpose. Yeah. Anyway, let me not go there. This was supposed to be a peaceful, peaceful video, vlog, whatever you want to call it. But that's what happened to society. The radio that you had to watch, television, black and white, then color television. And some of y'all out there remember, you only had, what, like 5 to 8 channels? Then the television went off at midnight. Remember that? That's what happened. I'm guilty. So don't misunderstand. I'm not coming off on you like, you've got a problem. No. I'm guilty. I had that problem. But then I realized one day, you know, man, there are trees out there. Wow. What kind of bird is that? Oh, look at that hawk flying. Oh, look, there's an eagle. I don't believe it. Damn, there's an eagle. Look at that. That's a black squirrel. Oh, look, there's a white squirrel. You know, the common ones are the grayish brown. See, but when you pay attention to your environment, you see things. You notice things. Oh, that's a beautiful flower. Look at that grass. It's such a pretty green color. You feel me? Tune in. Plant something. Plant a seed. If you don't have a yard, go to Walmart or wherever, hardware store, you can get those little peat pots. Put a seed in it. Get a small pot. An old coffee can. Anything. Plant something. Watch it grow. Plant something useful. Watch it grow. Feel me? Get in touch with nature. Nature will get in touch with you. It's a two-way street. Stop making it a one-way street. Challenge! Go outside, sit. You have a home? You have a deck? You have a lawn chair? Okay, do you have grass in your yard? Go sit. If you live in like Arizona, Nevada, you don't have grass? Sit in the damn sand. In the shade, of course. Tune into the environment. Look at the mountains in the distance. Ponder that magnificence. Oh, look, there's a jackrabbit. Damn, I haven't seen one of those Man, I haven't seen one of those since I was a child. How about that? But you wouldn't have noticed that unless you go outside and take time, sit. You'll thank me for it one day. Not that I need your thanks or, I'm just saying, figure of speech. Do it. Get away from this. For a little while. Take, 15 minutes. Take 15 minutes out of your otherwise hectic day. Just sit. Preferably in a park or an environment where there are trees and wildlife of some type. Sit. Listen. Observe. 15 minutes is all I ask out of a 24-hour period. Try it. If 15 minutes is too much, do 10. Don't go out there for 5 minutes. Oh, yeah, okay. No, come on. 15 minutes. That time will go by so fast. You'll probably end up sitting out there for like a half hour and won't even realize it. Okay? So, hope you all have gained something from this. And if it hasn't struck a chord in you, you got a problem that you need to address. Seriously. Bye.